Good morning, fanboys and fangirls, and welcome back to Nerds on Topic. This is Kevin, your solo nerd, and I'm bringing you the news for October 14th through the 21st. Let's get into it.
Ready? Kick it! Pick it up now!
Ooh, that's an interesting one. What's going on, everybody? This is Kevin, your solo nerd, once again, and I've got another new coffee from Drift Away Coffee, and this one is MXC. It's a Mexican corpivore. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce that again. Anyways, it's a nutty gingerbread and brown sugar roast, and it's really good so far. I've only had a couple of sips, but oh man, ooh, that is good. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Good to see y'all again. Yeah, how's your October been so far? I hope you've been tuning in every week to listen to my sultry voice tell you about what's going on in geek and nerd culture, as well as learning y'all on some video games. Yeah. So, good news. I got business cards in. Really excited. They came out pretty good looking, and they've got a really cool QR code that sends you to a link with all of my social medias and a link to the podcast on it. It's pretty fun. Yeah, it's cool. I like it. They came out really good. I've been handing them out, and people dig them. They're good quality. The art came out pretty well on it too, so I'm happy. Other than that, I've been working on Inktober stuff, of course. I came up with another character to add to my little group of fantasy children classes, apparently. As you guys probably know, I've got the little night boy, who I finally came up name. Did I already say I came up with a name for him? Anyways, I'm going to be calling him Alexander, or Alex. And then I've got the witch girl, who I created during the beginning of Inktober. And as of a couple of days ago, I created a third character, the alchemist boy, because that's all I could think of whenever I thought bottle, other than just, shoving people inside of a bottle, because I am a weird person. Like, I don't know why, I just have a lot of memories of my childhood and seeing, like, cartoons and stuff where, for some reason, characters would get trapped inside of bottles. I don't know if it's from the Rescue Rangers or something like that. Oh man, now I've got the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers stuck in my head. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Chip and Dale and in danger. Anyway, also there's going to be only, I do believe, one more episode for the video game month for my themes, and after that, we're going to be starting a new month of topics, and it's going to be all based around second string DC characters. I'm going to be, of course, pertaining that list to only heroes and villains, not necessarily supporting cast, because, well, then I could just do that forever. I mean, I could go into, like, Lois Lane, I could go into Olsen, I could go into Commissioner Gordon, I could go into so many minor characters. Oh, man. Whew. So, good morning, once again. I'm very tired at the moment. It's like 4:30 in the morning right now. I am not ready for this. Oh, man. So yeah, let's get into the news, everybody. As always, I'm going to go through movies, TV, gaming, anime, and comic books for the week. And this is not news. Ha, not news. That's because that's what I've been calling it lately. So, some awesome news starting with the movies. And I've been talking to my DJ, Swa, awesome guy, of course. You guys have all heard him. He's going to be making me a little bumpers between these topics. I just gotta actually get him all the information that I want. But yeah, let's start off with movies. Do. Um, because it's awesome, NASA has officially named a constellation after Godzilla. And so the reason they did it was due to the friggin' explosive, powerful gamma blasts the stars in the system like just shoot off, which made me really happy and made me laugh my ass off. Because apparently they've also named constellations after like the Hulk and stuff like that. So I need to look into this. I need to look up the nerd constellations, see if I can get a list of 12 of them to get a whole new horoscope thing off the charts. Going from there, surprise horror hit from like what 2 years ago, I want to say. Happy Death Day has gotten is getting a sequel, I should say, and its trailer is currently playing before Halloween, the movie Halloween, not the holiday Halloween. But sadly, I wasn't able to find it anywhere. But there was a cool little poster shown, which has it looks like the return of the baby mask killer, holding a cupcake that has the number 2 on it, and the official name of it is Happy Death Day to You, but like spelled 2 as in like the number 2, just the number 2, and then U, like just the letter U. Interesting way to spell it, but it's also kind of like quirky and makes sense for the series. Hopefully we can get like a new slasher off the ground. That'll be pretty cool. Speaking of recent horror movies that did really well, The Quiet Place is also getting a sequel. Excuse me, John Krasinski, I think that's how you say his last name. He was the male star from the first one. Is actually set to write the sequel, which will be pretty interesting. I'm excited to see where they go with it. I wasn't a huge fan of the ending. I actually ended up kind of like chuckle snorting at the end of it because it just ended like out of nowhere. Yeah. So going on from there, Sylvester Stallone is hyped as he sets up to play the main character in the adaptation of the novel Hunter, which the main character is basically Rambo in everything but name, and faces off against pretty much just the Predator, or a version of the Predator. Yeah. Which is going to be very interesting. So apparently he wanted this originally to be part of the actual Rambo series, but something happened and they decided not to. But now he's actually going to be able to do it, which is pretty cool. Like, it'll be interesting to see another action movie starring an alien monster. Yeah. But then, like, we got some weird news on this spectrum as... So Cats the Musical is getting a movie adaptation, as I think a lot of us know. They just cast a very interesting actor in the role of the criminal mastermind McCavity. Or McCafty? I don't know. But they cast Idris Elba as the criminal mastermind. And I'm excited to see where this goes. I know nothing about it. I've never actually seen Cats. I just know of it, and I've seen images of it. So I can't help but imagine Idris Elba wearing basically Kiss makeup and cat ears, which I'm sure we would all enjoy seeing. Moving on from there to some more badass news. Godzilla vs. Kong, or Godzilla vs. King Kong, I should say, or as I've been abbreviating it, GVK, is starting to cast for the movie, and it looks like they've got the one of the stars from The Nun to play in it, as in a leading role. Damien Bicker, Bicker, I think that's how you pronounce his name. They don't really have any of the story out for it yet, of course, because Godzilla King of the Monsters isn't even out yet, and Supposedly, MBB, Millie Bobby Brown, is going to be once again rejoining the cast, as well as a couple others. That's just rumor, of course. I'm excited to see where this goes because, as you all know, I fucking love Godzilla. Um, Going on, we've got The Jungle Cruise starring The Rock has been pushed back again to 2020 this time. But they've also come out with a little bit more about what the movie is going to be on. Apparently, it's going to star, of course, the Dwayne The Rock Johnson as a riverboat captain, as he partners up with a scientist to travel through South America searching for a mythical tree that supposedly has magical abilities. So excited to see where that goes. Kind of hope that it does the whole Pirates of the Caribbean thing, just like of course, just like Pirates of the Caribbean did. It'll be interesting to see a whole new genre take form with these not necessarily about old rides, but about like kind of historical fiction-ish series. I don't know where I'm going with that anymore. I am very tired. More coffee. And in other bad news for movies getting pushed back, it looks like The Flash is being pushed back again. This time to at least 2021, which is very depressing because it was meant to come out early this year when it was first announced, I think back in 2014. But yeah, so supposedly it's meant to start filming late next year in 2019. But yeah, so that kind of sucks. And that leads us into our next segment of television. You know, I feel like I should make the distinction between television and what's it called? Streaming services. But like, I don't know, they're just so intertwined nowadays that there's not much of a difference. Especially since most of what I end up talking about during this segment is what Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime are all doing for themselves. And then also like the DC streaming service, and then also the new Disney streaming service coming out. So I feel like I should, but I'm not going to. Guys, that's too much work. So let's start it off. So literally 1 week after Iron Fist was canceled, Luke Cage is also canceled. And this is like setting off a lot of people, and like a lot of people are theorizing, much like I've been theorizing, that they're just gonna like cancel these two shows and combine them into their own, because that's the only way like Luke Cage and Iron Fist actually work. I would have to say, Heroes for Hire. And it's funny because like I'm sitting there, I'm scrolling through not Twitter, Instagram the other day, and I see this post from a post from these people I follow, and it's like, oh man, Marvel tweeted this earlier today, then immediately erased it. I wonder why. And it was like a fake, but like really well. I just dropped my phone. A fake but really well done Heroes for Hire like graphic, and it was cool, and I'm excited because like I would really like that to happen because I don't know, it's just funny and like very cheesy having two heroes just like open a superhero for hire agency. Like mercenaries, but with superpowers. Which, who doesn't like a mercenary with superpowers? Just look at Deadpool. Anywho's, another series that is ending on Netflix is Orange is the New Black, which honestly is the first Netflix original series I ever heard of, and was one of the first I ever watched, and still kind of watched, but not as much because it hasn't aged that well. I think they got too far away from the story. But, yeah. So, it's ending on season 7, which was announced with a video of, like, a bunch of the cast members thanking everyone and sharing their experience with the show. And yeah, it's sad to see it go, but like it's understandable. Um, Other than that, Netflix has also cast Matthew Broderick, who I shall forever hate, as what is it? Oh, I forgot to actually write it down. But he's cast in I think it's called Daybreak. I don't know. It's this like young adult horror, not horror, but like dramedy, I want to say. Um yeah, but he's also cast as Jackie's love interest for the Hulu Connors series. Um so yeah, apparently he's trying to get back into acting again. Ugh. And I don't necessarily hate him because of his acting. I hate him because he was attached to that terrible 1998 Godzilla movie. uh, and apparently, Disney is doing a High School Musical TV show. I don't know why. I think they kind of milked that series for all it had already. But yeah, they just cast their lead male role, Joshua Bassett. Never heard of him before. I'm probably going to check it out when it comes out, just because why not? But some cool news, BBC has ordered a Dracula miniseries. But not just a Dracula miniseries. A Dracula miniseries created by the creators of Sherlock. Moffat and Gatiss. Gatiss? I think? I don't know. Right now, there's only 3 episodes being requested, but who knows where that could go in the future, because I don't know, these guys are pretty fucking creative. We could get a whole new series out of this if we really want to. Speaking of dark shows that I like, NBC is developing a spin-off for one of my favorite hour-long supernatural dramas, Grimm. Supposedly it's going to be starring a female lead, and it will just build off of the world they created in the original Grimm series, which had a full conclusion to it, which I kind of enjoyed. I'm kind of sad that it left, but, you know, at least they got a proper ending. Going from there, Future Man Season 2, which I did not know they were going to be getting. I kind of thought that it was a one-and-done series, but I really enjoyed it. Has announced that they're going to be launching their characters into the future of 2162, which is a dystopia inspired much by Waterworld and Mad Max, which are 2 very extremes of dystopian future, if you ask me, with the haves and have-nots and whatnot. So, I don't know, I'm excited to see where that goes, because it was pretty funny whenever I first watched it. It's a Hulu original. And I think also one of the first Hulu originals I ever watched. Speaking of, one sec, I gotta sneeze. And I'm back not feeling like death. Sorry about that. Yeah. Also, I freaking hate my cat. I'm sitting here, I'm trying not to die from my sneeze, and he's untying my shoes underneath the desk. One last little bit of TV news. And I dropped my phone again. One last little bit of TV news. It looks like the CW might actually be doing a Superman show. So, as you all know, they're going to be doing the Elseworlds crossover event with Supergirl, The Flash, and Green Arrow. And with that, they are bringing Superman into more of a role and are going to be showing potentially Smallville in the Arrowverse. And people are speculating that because of this, it's going to be a kind of backdoor pilot to a, well, of course, a Superman CW show, which could be pretty interesting. I mean, we saw how long Smallville ran for, and that was amazing. I mean, it created a lot of the cliches we have nowadays. But that ends the TV section of this episode. Video games. Pokemon Go has randomly dropped Generation 4. Well, at least the first wave of it, which is mostly just Bidoof and Baneri and Starlies. But but that's not bad. It's good so far. But of course, with a new generation, we have new exclusives. So far, it looks like Pachirisu is exclusive to Canada, Russia, and Alaska. Chatot, the annoying ass fucking bird, is exclusive to Brazil, New Zealand, and Australia, with a little bit of South America. And then Carvine is southern United States and the Bahamas so far. We are not exactly sure if that's the official stating for those, but that's what it looks like with reports. Going on from there, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee has shown a little bit of their after game. They're introducing things called Master Trainers, and that's going to be basically a trainer who specializes in one specific Pokemon, which you can tell from bubbles above their head. They won't appear until after game, and there is supposedly one for every original Kanto Pokemon. So that's going to be one for at least 149, because I doubt, not even 149, it'd be like 146? Not including Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno. And of course not Mewtwo or Mew, which would be 151. But yeah, so that'll be pretty interesting. I can't wait to get my hands on those games so I can see what that's like. I'm not exactly a fan of the catching mechanism, but whatever. After that, we've got new Mario Odyssey update. Looks like they've added in a zombie costume with an axe straight through his head for the Halloween update, as well as 3 new filters for the camera, which is manga, tile, and kaleidoscope. And like, not gonna lie, the manga filter for it looks friggin' awesome. Like, at least from the one photo that I saw from it, it gives a very classic manga feel. I'm excited to try that out once I get Mario Odyssey back. I mean, I only rented it from Gamefly, but I really enjoyed the game. I ran through the entire thing in a couple of days. Because when I really get into something, I won't stop until I'm done. Man, I keep hearing things. Sorry if that's weird for me stopping right here, but I could have sworn I just heard what sounded like roller skates on my ceiling. Anyway, moving on from there. So I love Loot Crate. If you guys have ever seen pictures of me, there's like a good 75% chance that I'm wearing a Loot Crate shirt. And Loot Crate has actually started a new mystery game service online called Loot Play. And it's like $10 a month, and you get 5 indie games from them. And they come in the form of Steam codes, which if I actually had a laptop that could play games on it, I would totally be up for that. It sounds like it'd be a lot of fun to randomly get games and just play around with it. But alas, I am not that much of a gamer, no matter how much I want to be. And a last little bit of video game news. Spyro Reignited is finally coming out on November 13th. But so far it's only listed for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So that's kind of sad. I can't wait for it to come out on the Switch, just like I can't wait to actually play the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy on the Switch, because I haven't started playing it yet, because I've been playing Hollow Knight. Any hoozles, on to anime. Oh, so Asian, so racist. Oh, I continue now. Awesome news. So, we all love Elon Musk, I'm sure. The guy who's trying to make space exploration casual. Well, he recently tweeted about some of his love of anime, and then simply a tweet that states, "It's time to make mecha." So, not only is he trying to fucking bring humanity into the next age of space colonization. He's trying to just straight up make, I feel like Gundam. He's trying to make Gundam real. So I'm excited to see where our new overlord Elon Musk takes us, and all hail the anime made real. Yeah. I really want to see how this goes. We all love giant robots, I'm sure. As long as it doesn't turn into a Pacific Rim situation where we start getting attacked by giant monsters in real life, I'm sure it's going to be fine. Then we've got, what is it? So, due to a bit of a debacle with the first episode of Goblin Hunter, which is great. Well, not great, but it's good. It's gotten a lot of interest over the, how do we say, over the rape scene in the first episode. The Crunchyroll has actually added a disclaimer recently to warn everyone beforehand of, I'm sorry, my cat just ran headfirst into my bed and then fell to the ground like he was dead and walked away. That was funny. Sorry, I got distracted for a moment. Yeah, so Crunchyroll added a disclaimer to the beginning of the episode to warn everybody about the graphic nature of the scene, which is kind of funny to me. I mean, it's not like that's the first time rape's ever been depicted in anime. I mean, seriously. But going on from there, blood donors from at the LA Film School this week got to see the first episode of the second season of Castlevania from Netflix, which I'm super jealous. I would totally have given blood to watch that. I mean, I'd give blood anyways. I like donating plasma and blood. But I just find it funny, like, and I think they put it as the children of Alucard and descendants of Belmonts, for people who were donating blood and signed up to donate blood who got to watch it. And it kind of made me laugh because the whole Castlevania thing. Which also just makes me think of, like, I had this really weird dream the other night where I'm just sitting there, I'm laying in bed, but I couldn't tell if I was awake or asleep, but I could hear, like, a voice in my head telling me about this game that's, like, not Castlevania, but Castlevania-esque, in which it was very much a 3D Metroidvania, but it wasn't as annoying as old, like, some 3D Metroidvanias, and it was, like, inspired by Van Helsing, and he had to hunt down monsters, much like, you know, Van Helsing does. He's a monster hunter and all that shit, but it was specifically made by Nintendo, and I'm just like, that game doesn't exist, though, but it would sell gangbusters if it did, in my head, while I was dreaming. And I also dreamed, like, I was pulling shit off of the walls and, like, they were falling on me. And then I'd wake up and nothing was on me. And I'd fall back asleep and everything was back to normal. It was weird. I had a weird night that night. But that is neither here or there. As we go to the next topic, which is Shogakukan's weekly Shonen Sunday manga magazine is getting a new manga on Halloween, based off of, what is it, the digital card game by, did I write down who it's by? I don't think I did, but anyway, nope. I did write it down. I just don't understand a single word of it. It's like Gung Ho, yeah, I think that's it. By Gung Ho, called Chronomagia, I want to say, or Chronomagia, but there's like a semicolon in the middle of it, and it's weird. But it's been titled as Chronomagia Infinite Gears, which sounds pretty cool. I checked it out, like, because it's out for Androids and iOS, and it looks like a very much what is it, anime-inspired Magic the Gathering clone of, what's it called? Hearthstone. So I might check it out if I have enough memory on my phone, but otherwise, it's going to be a thing. Who knows? That's a very Christmassy coffee. I should really order this again for Christmas. That's what I should do. Then it looks like High Dive is expanding because they have apps now for, of course, Android, but they also have it for iOS, and they just released one for Xbox One. So that's really cool. Good to see a new anime company on the rise. I should say anime streaming service company. And for the last little bit of anime news, which is actually American anime news, at least I think it's American. It seemed very American. Astro Boy is getting an early childhood series called Go Astro Boy Go. And the website says that it has 52 episodes with 13 minutes each. Kind of like a Teen Titans Go aesthetic to it, I guess. But it is currently being aired at the MIPCOM trade show, which I tried looking it up, but I didn't really see anything about it. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. And we get into the last little bit of news for the week, which is comic books. So, as always, for comic books, I start off by going over the top releases of the week from DC, Marvel, and Image and other companies. So of course, starting with DC, because DC is the best in alphabetical order. And so, starting with that, we have Batman number 57. We have Nightwing number 51. Justice League number 10, Aquaman 41, Green Lanterns 41, and Teen Titans 23. Then after that, for Marvel, we have Old Man Logan 49, Star Wars Darth Vader number 22, Venom Annual number 1, Thor number 6, Astonishing X-Men number 16, and Daredevil number 606. I feel like Marvel, whenever they get to like 600 issues, they should do like on issue number 616. They should do something very special because of the main Marvel continuity taking place in 616, Earth 616. But that's just me. Going on from there, we have Image and other companies. We have East of West number 39, Gideon Falls number 7, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 87, Black Hammer Age of Doom number 6, Lumberjanes 55, and Curse Words 17. I know, I'm a dork. Anywho, starting off with some interesting news, we have a more look at Steve Aoki, DJ turned comic book writer, who has shown his idea for the neon future, where cybernetics are everywhere, at least for the lower class, who are looked down on by the non-altered people of the upper class. And supposedly it's going to be following one of the augmented lower class people who sets out to free the, I guess they call them augmented, against the oppression of the non-augmented. I don't know. But yeah, free them against oppression. It'll be interesting. I'm sure it'll be pretty popular. DC, embracing embracing the new members of their Heroes, New Age of Heroes series, has, of course, they're adding Silencer, basically their female version of Punisher, into the Arrowverse, but they're also inviting Damage, a Hulk-like character who turns into a giant rampaging monster like once a day, into the Justice League, with issue 13 of the comic. But supposedly there's going to be a little bit of not traction, but conflict there. Of course, like all the comic book news for new issues are going to be around January. For those who don't know, every 3 months, every month, but they put out I want to say a trade book with comics that show what's going to be coming out 3 months from now, so that comic book retailers can sell and pre-order issues for their clients. And that's where a lot of this stuff ends up coming from. Um, Speaking of the Flash, who, as you guys know, they've introduced a bunch of new forces like the Speed Force, and the new hero Power, or not hero, but the new character Powerhouse. And now they're introducing a new Force user for the Sage Force, a spy, I do believe, named Psyche, who is going to be helping but also hindering Flash as they fight against someone who's trying to take over the Sage and Speed Force. On top of that, they're going to have to deal with Powerhouse still. I find it interesting because they've introduced these two new characters using these two new forces. I wonder if that just means that following the logical chain of action, they're going to be adding a new character who embodies the Still Force. And if they do, is it going to be like a villain like the others, or are they going to make like a Force 4 team where it's one member from every force with Barry as the lead? I don't know. That could be pretty interesting. DC, hire me. Anyways, and then DC is also canceling a few series. With issue number 8, it looks like the New Age of Heroes series, The Unexpected, is being canceled, just like they canceled The Immortal Men. Hopefully they don't cancel any of the others, but those are like the two that really didn't stick out to me at all, so I'm not really surprised they got canceled so soon. But Suicide Squad is also getting canceled with issue number 50, which is kind of weird because they seem to be trying to push like villains turned hero teams onto the masses right now in TV and movies. So it's kind of weird that they'd be doing that, unless they're just doing this so that they can, in a little bit, start up a whole new series of heroes turned villain or villains turned hero with a new Suicide Squad reboot. So this got me excited. So the article basically just said Teen Titans animated series villain coming into continuity, which got me really fucking excited. Control Freak's daughter, Joystick, from the Teen Titans Go spin-off comic from the 2004 series, is getting introduced into main continuity, which also means Control Freak is getting introduced into main continuity for Teen Titans. Now, they just need to fucking bring in Red X. Red X was like the best anti-hero villain in that whole series that I really want to see. I wouldn't mind seeing a version of Slade from the show in main continuity either. That'd be pretty cool. And then the last little bit of comic book news is for Marvel, and it is giving Gwen a new power specifically for herself from the aftermath of Spider-Geddon. What that power is exactly, it is unknown, but it supposedly comes after losing a shit ton of her friends, of the Spider People, because there's a ton of gravestones on the cover, and it says that the power will come with unique and grave responsibility. So I can only expect that she's either going to become a necromancer or, something to do with the dead. But yeah, that has been the comic book news. So I recently moved my entire recording area around, so it's in a completely different part of my apartment. I like it a lot better. I also have it set up so I can start doing YouTube videos if I want to, from the same area. You might see me post a picture or two of it later today on my social medias. But yeah, if it sounds any different to you guys, give me a heads up. But otherwise, I feel like it feels, pretty good, pretty comfortable. And now to do my normal end of episode shout outs. Uh, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Not Coffee. That's coffee with a K. You can follow the podcast on Instagram and Twitter also at Nerds on Topic. You can follow the amazing DJ who does all of my amazing sound work and intro music, Swa Music, on all social medias at Swa Music. And, of course, you can contact the podcast through Gmail. nerdsontopic@gmail.com. And, of course, as always, this has been Nerds on Topic. And remember, we are not the podcast you're looking for. Goodbye.